This entire process could almost be called a miracle, because every single piece of data reaching your screen arrives after traveling thousands of kilometers. Have you ever thought about the enormous cables laid beneath the oceans, the hidden data fortresses buried in the Nevada desert, or the massive server farms spread across different corners of the world? The truth is, the internet is far more complex and far larger than most people imagine. It may operate silently, but it sits at the very center of our lives. And sometimes the fate of this vast system depends on nothing more than a single cable surviving at the bottom of the sea. For example, in 2022, minor damage to a cable between France and the United States nearly brought the flow of data between two continents to a crawl for seconds. So sometimes, the reason your screen freezes can literally be an accident involving a cable on the ocean floor. But how does a video, for example the one you are watching right now, separate itself from billions of pieces of data on the internet and somehow make its way to your screen? Come with me now, and let's follow this invisible journey together. Everything you do on the internet, watching a video, sharing a photo, sending a message, all of it physically happens somewhere. There are real machines processing, storing, and routing these actions. The places where all of these machines are gathered are called data centers. But don't let the name fool you. This is not some ordinary computer room. It is a very serious place. They are designed like the digital fortresses of the modern age. For example, there is one built in the middle of the Nevada desert, Citadel campus. And just like its name, it looks like a fortress. It covers roughly 3 million square meters. Yes, you heard that right. As large as a small city. Inside, thousands of servers run 24/7, constantly processing, sending, and receiving data, like an invisible factory. But with that many machines running, the inside naturally heats up like an oven. That is why special cooling systems are installed throughout the facility. Power outage? No problem. Generators activate instantly. An attack happens? Steel walls are in place. In fact, the scale of protection goes so far that special defense systems have even been built against electromagnetic attacks. Because what is stored here may be more valuable than even a nation's infrastructure itself: data. And the true home of this video is one of these centers, where that data is usually stored on SSDs, solid-state drives. These drives function like the memory of extremely powerful computers we call servers, and when you open YouTube and click on a video, what you are really doing is sending a request to a server thousands of kilometers away, asking, "Can you send me this video?" And this is where the magic truly begins. How does that video appear on your screen within seconds? At first glance, there seems to be an obvious answer: satellites. After all, a signal could be sent from the data center, pass through a satellite, then come down to another antenna, and from there reach your phone. Sounds logical, doesn't it? But reality is a little more complicated. Because those satellites orbit about 36,000 kilometers above Earth's surface, positioned along the equator, which means a data packet first has to travel upward, then come back down the same distance. A total journey of 72,000 kilometers. And that means high delay, high latency. Especially for applications that require instant response, this becomes unacceptable. That is why most of the internet still remains tied to the ground. The real internet is actually carried through incredibly powerful fiber optic cables running beneath the earth and across the ocean floor. Just imagine it. These cables wrap around nearly the entire world like a spider web, connecting continents together. The data inside them travels as pulses of light. Yes, actual light. And that light can move at speeds of around 200,000 to 300,000 kilometers per second. Which means, thanks to these cables, data reaches you at nearly the speed of light. and with almost no loss at all. But of course, these cables are not simply thrown into the sea. Special ships are used to install them. These ships lower a giant plow-like machine called a plow to the seabed. This device digs a trench across the ocean floor and places the fiber cable inside it. In some places, the cables are buried underground. In others, they are routed through protective channels. Because the underwater world is not nearly as calm as you might think. These cables must be protected from rocks, pressure, currents, and yes, even sharks. In fact, according to some reports, sharks may actually enjoy biting these cables. Why? Perhaps they can sense the high-frequency signals passing through them. Who knows? Building this infrastructure is not easy, of course. It requires years of planning, enormous budgets, and the approval of dozens of countries. And the interesting part is that many of these cables are now owned by private companies. Technology giants like Meta, Google, Amazon, and Microsoft lay and manage their own fiber lines. Because data is the most valuable resource of the modern age, and no one wants to leave control of that resource to someone else. Now let's come to the part closest to you. Whether you use Wi-Fi or mobile data makes no difference, because no matter what you do, sooner or later you are connecting to those invisible fiber cables at some point. Data from the internet first passes through those cables. But remember, fiber cables carry data using light signals, and light cannot communicate directly with your phone. This is where modems and cell towers come in. Special optical receivers inside them convert the light into meaningful electrical signals. Then those signals either reach your computer through an Ethernet cable or are transformed into radio waves and sent wirelessly through the air to your phone. But wait, we're not done yet. There are still a few things we need to understand. How does the system know who should receive those signals and who gets what? This is where IP addresses enter the stage. Every device on the internet has an address. Think of it like a home address. Without an address, mail cannot reach you. In the same way, without an IP address, data cannot reach the correct person. Your phone has one. The server hosting the video you are watching has one too. But if I told you I connected to 122.250.28.180, who would understand what that means? That is why we humans use domain names, like youtube.com. There is a system that translates these names into real IP addresses. DNS. In short, you could call it the Internet's phone book. You type a website name into the browser, the DNS server steps in. It finds which IP address you need to go to and directs you to the right place. But how does the data actually arrive? Think of it this way. Nothing is sent as one whole piece. It is broken into tiny fragments, like a puzzle. Each fragment is called a packet. Inside these packets is not only data. There is also information such as the sender's address, the receiver's address, and its place in the sequence. These packets do not have to travel through the exact same route. The system sends each one through whichever path is fastest and safest at that moment. Then they all reach your device, reassemble themselves according to their sequence numbers, and the video begins this way. But what if one packet goes missing? No problem at all. Your device notices immediately and requests the missing piece again. Thanks to this system, the internet remains both fast and remarkably resilient. All of this communication happens according to certain rules. These rules are called protocols. Who sends what, when, and how? All of it has already been defined in advance. The most common is TCP/IP. This protocol ensures that data packets are delivered in order, completely, and correctly. But for things like email, live streams, or voice calls, there are other protocols as well. Each works like a specialist in a different field, and above this entire system stands a governing organization, ICANN, an American-based institution. This organization manages the distribution of IP addresses, domain name registrations, and general Internet protocols. In a way, think of it as the population registry office of the entire Internet. Everyone's identity, address, and rules are kept there. But I can almost hear you asking, why is so much of this centered in America? This institution we call ICANN is actually an international structure that helps manage the order of the global Internet. But because its headquarters are in the United States, some countries have begun trying to build alternative systems of their own. For example, China created its own DNS infrastructure. Russia tested a system capable of switching entirely to its own internal network. So while ICANN may function today like the brain of the global Internet, some nations would prefer to place that brain inside their own vault. Now you know that connecting to the Internet is not just about clicking the Wi-Fi icon on a screen. The moment you click it, servers all around the world begin to move. Data packets set off at the speed of light. They pass beneath oceans, cross mountains, cities, sometimes continents, and finally arrive at your screen. Every video you watch, every message you send, moves across a gigantic infrastructure. Invisible, yet very real. Silent, yet unbelievably complex, and far more fragile than we assume. Because the Internet is not some kind of cloud, it is hidden beneath the ground, a digital organism made of cables, signals, and billions of parts coming together. And if one link in that chain breaks, it may not just be the signal that stops. The world itself may pause for a moment.